All right, Beakers, let's debate.
The Republican presidential debate.
All right, so we got 5 left on the stage. We got Pence, who dropped out, which is great because he was a bit of a grandstander in these debates. We got Burgum, that only had 1%, so he didn't make it. Hutchinson has 0%. He didn't make it, but those 2 have yet to drop out. Probably the most interesting debate out of the last 3. We got Tim Scott on the screen right now. Then we got DeSantis. Then we got Ramaswamy, which was mega fireworks. Then we got Ramaswamy and Nikki Haley, which was mega fireworks. So you're going to want to stay tuned for all that. Let's get into Tim Scott.
Let me just say to every single university president in America, federal funding is a privilege, not a right. Number one. Number two, to every student who've come to our country on a visa to a college campus, your visa is a privilege, not a right.
So he's referencing the Israel-Gaza conflict. Kind of an interesting take. I hadn't heard that before, but I did hear it echoed by Ron DeSantis in this same debate. Let's keep going. All right, so then we've got DeSantis. My opinion was that his presentation last night was the most presidential out of all 5 candidates. By the way, these are my opinions. I'd love to hear yours. Write them in the comments. Let's check out DeSantis.
Not going to sit idly by and let this country continue its downward spiral. And Donald Trump's a lot different guy than he was in 2016.
All right, so here he is hitting Trump.
He owes it to you to be on this stage and explain why he should get another chance. He should explain why he didn't have Mexico pay for the border wall. He should explain why he racked up so much debt. He should explain why he didn't drain the swamp. And he said Republicans were going to get tired of winning. I'm sick of Republicans losing. In Florida, I showed how it's done.
All right, so what he's referencing there is his 2022 run for governor. He was actually the highest performing Republican in the country in that election.
1 year ago here, we won a historic victory.
All right, so now he's going to reference the Israel-Gaza conflict and what he did as Florida governor to help with that situation.
Floridians that were over there after the attack, he left them stranded. They couldn't get flights out. So I scrambled resources in Florida. I sent planes over to Israel, and I brought back over 700 people to safety.
All right, so now he's going to talk about Bidenomics.
Thing involving Bidenomics, I'm going to rip it up and I'm going to throw it in the trash can on day 1 where it belongs. And I'm even going to build the border wall and have Mexico pay for it like Donald Trump promised.
He's building a wall.
Are you going to do it? Yeah, Mexico's not going to fork over money. We're going to impose fees on the remittances that foreign workers send to foreign countries. We'll raise billions of dollars. I'll build a wall.
All right, so pretty strong performance by DeSantis. Most presidential of the evening, in my opinion. Now, the question with DeSantis is he marketable? He was at 17% of the polls. Now he's at 13% of the polls. Still a far cry from Trump, who sits at 60% of the polls. Next, we get into Ramaswamy, who was definitely the headliner of the evening. Not the most presidential, but the most fireworks for sure. Let's check him out.
There's something deeper going on in the Republican Party here, and I am upset about what happened last night. We've become a party of losers at the end of the day. It was a cancer in the Republican establishment. Let's speak the truth. I mean, since Ronna McDaniel took over as chairwoman of the RNC in 2017, we have lost 2018, 2020, 2022, no red wave that never came. We got trounced last night in 2023.
Now, Ronna McDaniel sitting right there in the front row, and she was not too happy, but I got to admit, he's 100% right.
And I think that we have to have accountability in our party. For that matter, Ron, if you want to come on stage tonight, you want to look the GOP voters in the eye and tell them you resign, I will yield my time to you. And frankly, look, the people there cheering for losing in the Republican Party. Think about who's moderating this debate. This should be Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk. We'd have 10 times the viewership, asking questions that GOP primary voters actually care about and bringing more people into our party.
That would be a legendary debate. I mean, I really hope that they got that message and that they're working on it right now. The ratings would be astronomical. Who wouldn't watch that debate?
You think the Democrats, and we've got Kristen Welker here, do you think the Democrats would actually hire Greg Gutfeld to host a Democratic debate? They wouldn't do it. And so the fact of the matter is, I mean, Kristen, I'm going to use this time because this is actually about you in the media and the corrupt media establishment. Ask you, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that you pushed on this network for years, was that real or was that Hillary Clinton made up disinformation? Answer the question. Go.
I mean, amen to that.
This is how we get our country back. We need accountability. accountability because this media rigged the 2016 election. They rigged the 2020 election with the Hunter Biden laptop story.
Mr. Ramaswamy,
and they're going to rig this election.
Your time is up. Audience, let's not do this.
Let's not do this, says Lester Holt. You got to give it to Ramaswamy for that first presentation. That was a knockout punch. All right, here come more fireworks. The heels are flying.
You have the likes of Nikki Haley, who stepped down from her time at the UN. Bankrupt or in debt was her family. Then she becomes a military contractor. She joins the board of Boeing and otherwise, and is now a multimillionaire. So I think that that's wrong when Republicans do it or Democrats do it. That's the choice we face. Do you want a leader from a different generation who's going to put this country first? Or do you want Dick Cheney in 3-inch heels?
All right, Mr.
In which case, we've got two of them on stage tonight.
Oh, there it is. What do you got to say for yourself, Nikki?
Thank you.
Yes, I'd first like to say they're 5-inch heels, and I don't wear them unless you can run in them.
We already heard that response, Nikki. You're going to have to do better than that.
I wear heels. They're not for a fashion statement. They're for ammunition.
So-so response.
Last debate, she made fun of me for actually joining TikTok while her own daughter was actually using the app for a long time. So you might want to take care of your family first.
Leave my daughter out of your voice.
Ooh, low blow.
Daughter. Here's the truth.
You're just
the easy
scum.
answer.
Ooh, you're just scum. All right, so that was highly entertaining. Now's a good time for you to subscribe. We're also going to check out Haley and Chris Christie. All right, so I was totally impartial on Nikki Haley coming into this debate. I got to say, I left the debate feeling like she's a bit heavy-handed militarily. Let's check it out.
America needs to modernize our military. Finish them. Finish them. You punch them one and you punch them hard and they will back off. I am telling you, Putin and President Xi are salivating at the thought that someone like that could become president.
All right, so it's China, Ukraine, Taiwan, the Houthis, Israel, the military-industrial complex. I mean, I understand peace through strength. It's strength as a deterrent in order to gain peace. I just feel like she's too full throttle. She scares me a bit. She's just too war-orientated for me. All right, so next Haley talks about cutting Social Security. This answer is red meat to the Democrats, in my opinion. This is exactly what Biden keeps accusing the Republicans of. Let's check out her answer.
First of all, any candidate that tells you that they're not going to take on entitlements is not being serious. Social Security will go bankrupt in 10 years. Medicare will go bankrupt in 8. But for like my kids in their 20s, you go and you say, we're going to change the rules. You change the retirement age for them. Instead of cost of living increases, we should go to increases based on inflation. We should limit benefits on the wealthy.
All right, so here's DeSantis' response to that. I mean, he's a bit more tactful than to announce cuts to Social Security in an election. Let's check out his response.
When life expectancy is declining, I don't see how you could raise it the other direction. So it's one thing to peg it on life expectancy, but we have had a significant decline in life expectancy in this country, and that's just the fact.
I thought that was a good response. All right, now we get into Chris Christie. Haven't talked about him too much. There's a reason for that. He's nowhere in the polls, spent most of his campaign bashing Trump supporters and lecturing Republicans. Didn't do too much of that in this debate, but it's too little too late. Don't expect to see him at the next debate.
I'm going to open up my heart to every American as president, and I will make sure that I return honesty, integrity to the Oval Office.
Boring. All right, so definitely want your opinion on that debate. Make sure you write that down in the comments. Got another great video for you to watch right here. Make sure you subscribe, and peace, Beakers.